Hi everyone, today I am giving you information on the topic cornea. So let's see what the cornea is. So this one is the cornea. It is a transparent structure which appears here, and in the normal eye, if you are trying to see the cornea, it will not visible to you directly. If any kind of opacity occurs, then we can observe it by using the torchlight. Otherwise, cornea is not visible directly. So the contents which are covered here is, first one is the introduction, second one is the layer, third one are the dimensions, fourth one are the functions of the cornea. So let's see. Cornea is a transparent. As I have shown you, cornea is a highly transparent in nature. Okay. Due to its transparency, it can form a perfect light on the retina, and it acts as a convex surface. Next one, it is a avascular. There is no presence of any kind of blood vessel in case of cornea because it is a highly transparent in nature. It is a watch glass like structure. It covers the 1/6 of the outer fibrous coat of the eyeball. Now in the outer fibrous coat, two things are there. First one is the cornea and the second one is the sclera. Sclera cover the other part, and only 1/6 part of the eyeball is covered by the cornea only. Okay, let's move to the next layers of the cornea. The cornea consists of the 5 layers. First one is the epithelium, Bowman's membrane, stroma, decimate membrane, and the endothelium. Okay, so if you can see here we can see the cornea. So the first layer begins from here. First one is the epithelium, and the second one is the Bowman's layer. Third one is the stroma layer, which is the largest layer, and next one is the decimate membrane, and last one is the endothelium. So this one is the anterior surface of the cornea, and the back one is the posterior surface of the cornea. So at the anterior surface, anterior means which we can see, it is at the front side. Okay, so the front side epithelium is present, and at the back side, at the end of the cornea, endothelium is present. That's why it is endothelium, because it is present at the end. Okay, next one, dimensions. Now in dimensions, there are the different surfaces of the cornea: thickness of the cornea, radius of curvature, refractive power, and refractive index. Let's move to the surfaces. Now the cornea has two surfaces. First one is the anterior surface, and the second one is the posterior surface. This one is the anterior surface, which we can see, it is the outside, and this one is the posterior surface. Okay, so the anterior surface is elliptical in shape, and its horizontal diameter is 11.75 mm, and the vertical diameter is 11 mm. Okay, if you can see the cornea, then this one is the horizontal diameter, which is more 11.75, and this one is the vertical diameter. Okay, if you can see in case of eye. Next one is posterior surface. The posterior surface is circular in shape. The back surface is circular in shape, and this one is somewhat elliptical, and this one is circular in shape, and it consists of the average diameter, which is 11.5 mm only. Next one, thickness. Now the thickness of the cornea, it consists of two types of thickness. First one is the central thickness, and the other one is the peripheral thickness. So the peripheral thickness in case of the cornea is more, which is 0.67, and the central thickness is 0.52 mm. Let's see, this is the anterior segment OCT report. Here the central thickness, okay, the central thickness is less as compared to the peripheral thickness. Okay, so the central thickness is lesser as compared to the peripheral thickness of the cornea. Okay, this one is the corneal anterior surface, this one is the posterior surface. Here is the central thickness, here is the peripheral thickness, and this one is the iris, and hereby the lens is seen. Okay, so here is the angle which is formed between the iris as well as the cornea. Next one, radius of curvature. The radius of curvature means how it is curved. Now from the anterior side, this is curved about the 7.8 mm, and at the posterior side it gets curved or about the 6.5 mm. Okay, next one is the refractive power. Now the refractive power of the eye means how the lights it can converge. So the power of the anterior surface is plus 48 diopters. Okay, the power of corneal anterior surface, the power of this is 48 diopters plus 48 diopters, and here the power becomes minus 5 diopters. So overall power of the cornea becomes 45 diopters approximate. Next one, refractive index. Refractive index means how it can bend the light. The refractive index, there is every material who has the refractive index. The power of the bending of light is 1.376 is the corneal refractive index. Now what all are the functions of the cornea? Cornea act as a powerful refracting surface that transmit light into a proper image formation. It acts as a powerful refracting surface due to its transparency. First of all, the light gets strikes on the cornea and then passes on to the aqueous humor and then the lens, then vitreous humor, then formation of the image on the retina is there. So it is a first structure from where the light starts refracting or strike and it get converged from the power of the 45 diopters. It helps in refraction to protect the intraocular content. So it is the first layer. So when any foreign body, any particle tries to enter inside the eyes, first of all it strikes on the cornea, so it protects the intraocular content. Any kind of trauma in any kind of force, first of all the force gets strike on the cornea, so in this way it can protect the intraocular contents. It helps in wound healing after the anterior segment surgery or the trauma. Any kind of surgery like the cataract surgery, iridectomy, glaucoma surgery, trap surgery, any other surgery, and it helps in the wound healing, okay, or the trauma. In case of any injury, the cornea helps in wound healing. Next one, refraction through the cornea. Now how the refraction through the cornea takes place, how the bending of light takes place. Cornea acts as a convex surface and it allows the light rays to converge because it has 40 to 45 diopter of power to converge, and refractive index of air is 1 and the cornea is 1.376, which is a huge difference. Okay, so this one is the cornea. Parallel rays of light are coming from infinity and they starts bending after passing through the cornea. Okay, so this will gives the 45 diopter of bending of light from the cornea. Other convergence of the light rays is done by the lens, which helps in the proper formation of image on the retina. Okay, so there is a huge difference between the refractive index of the air. The refractive index of air is 1.0 and the cornea is 1.336. Okay, so in this way it helps in focusing the image on the retina and helps in the bending of light. Cornea has a homogeneous material with a very less thickness and hence it works as a single surface. It is a homogeneous material means it is made up of homogeneous material, same material, and in all the layers the contents are properly placed, and it has a very less thickness and it acts as a single refractive surface. So in this way the light formation takes place through the cornea, and due to its transparency it plays an important role. Thanks for your patience listening.